When I was younger, I used to think of myself as a nice guy, and I knew that being a nice guy was a problem, so I searched it up online. And all I could find is that nice guys are people that they act nice to women and expect women to suck their dick. And I never identified with that. I knew I was not doing that, but I still felt like a nice guy. But all I could find online was that retarded shit. What I actually felt though is that I treated everybody nicely, and not because I wanted something in return, but because that was what I was expected to do, and that was the right thing to do. And over time, what I saw is that other people did not do that. Other people treated nice only the people they wanted something out of, and only the people they respected and most of all feared. But I did not catch on right away. I treated people nicely for a long time, and I got part of what people describe as the nice guy because I got the resentment. Because as I said, I was actually nice to people. I actually gave people a chance to prove themselves, even if I had a gut feeling that they're going to be bad and I shouldn't trust them. Things like that. And over time, I built up resentment and fear towards people in general. Because even though I treated them nicely, for no apparent reason, they treated me like shit. And that is what I believe is the actual nice guy. It's a guy that has a certain morality that overrides his basic instincts. Because your basic instincts are quite simple and quite effective. They have been bred into you quite literally. And your basic instincts are that you don't really care about most people. Most people are there for you to use. And most of all, you don't really trust most people. You trust very few people because when a random guy came from over the mountain to your tribe, if you were the friendly kind, you probably got killed. And if you were the guy that when the stranger came near him, he punched him in the face first, you lived. But because we live in a society that relies on a policy of no violence and a policy of, in general, Christian values where you are kind to your neighbor, these things have been seemingly overridden by morality. Morality came and said that everybody's your friend and you should treat everybody nice and you should give people a chance and you shouldn't make assumptions, etc., etc. And the whole society on paper says they believe that. But if you actually see through the lines, you will notice that most people and certainly most successful people did not do that. Because when you give everybody a chance, you leave yourself very vulnerable. When you try to help everybody, you waste around all your resources. So, what most successful people do, and I'm talking successful in every realm, is that they give people a chance only if they are sure of the outcome. They trust people only because their gut or their logic says so. If they smell something wrong with somebody, they strike first. Not physically, but they strike first. And that does two things. First of all, it eliminates any resentment because when somebody does something to you, you expected it. You did not feel betrayed from society or from morality or from that person. Because if a dog bites you, you're not going to feel betrayed by the dog. You're not going to have resentment. Maybe you kick the dog, but you're not going to feel like, oh, the dog was not supposed to bite me and it bit me. The dog is a dog, it will bite you. It's normal. You don't feel bad. But when you expect everybody to treat you a certain way because you have been taught that that's the way, and you treat people in that nice way, and then everybody else has a different set of rules they play by, then you start to build up resentment. And that is the only point I agree with the typical explanation of the nice guy. Because when you are a nice guy, in my definition, you are very resentful, but not towards women, towards everybody. Because everybody seems to be pointing out one set of rules for you to play with and one set of rules that they play with. So, what you have to do in order to stop being a nice guy is understand fundamentally how humans work. Humans are very simple creatures and we have been evolved in a very different time to act in a very different way. Then, in order for societies to come up, and big societies like the ones in the West that we live in, morality had to come by and establish some basic rules. And that is why we have roads and tall ass buildings and phones. But in our day to day, in our human interactions, the people that stick to basic human nature, people that trust their gut, people that don't give a chance to any nobody, any random guy, people that are not kind with most other people that are ruthless, they win. And it's a double whammy because they win and they also have zero resentment. On the other hand, I, in the past, a nice guy that follows the rules, he does not win and he builds up resentment. I've got some great news though. The moment you understand that this is human nature, that by nature we are assholes, that there is no rules in war or love, and that life is full of war and love. You don't have to follow any rules. Then the resentment is going to get out of you very fast. Maybe even the same moment you understand this. Because when you understand this, you will also understand that morality, which is the rules we play by, you're not actually forced by anybody to follow it. And following it does not make you a better person, and not following it does not make you a worse person. This is a bit of Nietzsche and something that I might get into in a different video. But morality, there's not good morality, there's not bad morality. Morality is just a set of rules that you follow because you believe following them is good for you. So, for example, let's say you go into a new workplace and there's a guy there that you get a gut feeling that he's no good. He's going to try and snake you. He's going to try maybe take the position you want, or maybe get you fired, maybe get you working more, and he gets credit, etc. But if you are new there, he hasn't done anything to you yet. So even though you get that gut feeling, morality tells you to be courteous to him and be good to him and kind and give him a chance. But what I do at this point is that I give zero chances. If I believe you are bad news to me, I'm going to strike first. I'm going to make you work more. I'm going to try and get you fired. I'm going to try and get you to fuck up. Not because I enjoy that, but because it's good for me. And I don't care about you, who you're not my friend. I don't care. And this is not a video for me to tell you to be 100% cutthroat and do a bunch of shit things. You decide what you want to do. But what I'm telling you is that you decide. Morality does not decide for you. Morality is just a construct of society for the benefit of society, not for the benefit of you. So if you choose to follow morality, or if you choose to follow certain aspects of the morality of our society, choose that. Do not let society just brainwash you into it. And that's one of the biggest red pills of today. Not the red pill when it comes to women and all those jokes. Those things are basic. You should be able to understand them quite fast. But the whole society we live in is filled with rules. And nobody asks why those rules are there. But if you start to ask, you're soon going to understand that those rules are there not for your benefit, but for the benefit of society. And if you should follow them, you should follow them because you choose to. What you're going to do today is start to think back to the moments that stick in your mind, all those scenarios where you felt betrayed, that stick with you over the years. You should give them a thought. Give a thought to what you did, how you got fucked up, and why you did the things. Why did you give those people a chance to fuck you up in any way they did? Did you do it because you actually wanted to be the good guy, or because a morality was imposed on you and you never gave it a second thought?